Donna Adelson is controlling. Donna Adelson may be a criminal. But in my humble opinion, Donna Adelson is also being manipulated by the master puppeteer, her daughter Wendi. Let's take a look at the emails that make me think so. Hi everybody, it's Chris from Guilty Words, where we unravel crime one word at a time. Tonight we're taking a look at the case of Donna Adelson, and we're going back in time, back to 2013, before Dan Markel was murdered, to look at a set of emails that show how Donna was escalating and unraveling at the same time. But in addition to looking at what's happening to Donna, we're using the emails as a mirror to look back at the person who she was responding to, her daughter Wendi. I believe Donna, with all her histrionics and all her plotting and planning, was a pawn for her daughter, who was calmly negotiating the long game. Let's look at the emails together, and I'll show you why I think so, and let me know in the comments what you think. We're looking at 4 particular emails, and there's a lot we could cover in these emails, but I don't think you want an 8-hour video. So let me go over exactly what we're examining. First, the why. Why is Donna responding the way she is? What is it that prompted her response? What does she say about money, and what does she say about the grandkids? And finally, her escalating schemes as she begins to feel more and more desperate based on the information that Wendi is feeding her. One important thing to remember is that each email is a reaction to something Wendi has said or done. And I use the word reaction on purpose. It's not a response. It's not calm, it's not considered, it's not thoughtful. It's an outright reaction. And apparently whatever Wendi is sending her is perfectly tuned to get that kind of reaction. The 4 emails are from 2013 and 2014. The first is from Friday, May 3rd, 2013, and the subject line is info regarding his memorandum of law email. The second is from Tuesday, June 25th, 2013. The subject, please read, very important. The third is from Wednesday, June 26th and Thursday, June 27th. Wendi, please read this in boldface type. Apparently, she sent it on Wednesday, June 26th, didn't get a response fast enough from Wendi, and sent it again on the 27th. And the last email is from Thursday, February 18th, 2014. Info for your lawyer when it comes to depot on Danny. Let me show you what I mean when I say Donna is reacting to something that's been sent or said to her in each of these emails. In the first one, from Friday, May 3rd, she says, Dear Wendi, okay, just saw this email this morning. Well, obviously the phrase just saw this email this morning shows this is in response to that. But in addition, this word okay is an acknowledgement of something that's been said or done. Okay, we're going to get this done. Okay, I heard you. She uses this frequently, so keep it in mind. Email number 2. Okay, just like it says on your necklace, never, never, never give up. How do we know this is in response to something besides the okay, acknowledging that she's heard something? Generally, we don't start sentences out of the blue with never, never, never give up. That sort of bolstering type of comment is usually made in response to someone who seems down or who needs some cheering up or some strengthening. Apparently, Wendi has said something that's put Donna into I'm going to help my poor daughter out mode. Email number 3, Thursday, June 27th. Now what's happened is Donna sent the one email on Wednesday. She was waiting for a response, didn't get one, sent this email again on Thursday. Oh, Dear Wendi, Since neither one of us feels up to talking, let me share with you what we're all feeling as far as your response. Wendy's responded to Donna's suggestion from a previous email, and now, because they're not talking, Donna's sending this one. By the fourth email, Donna is unraveling. She begins with that, okay, your attorney must depot Elvis to see if any of the retirement accounts, and then she goes off. Again, responding to something that Wendi has told her about the finances. The first email is incredibly long. It's 5 pages single-spaced. Donna is angry, but I want to look at what she's reacting to and what she doesn't know. She's asking Wendi for certain information, and there's a consistent theme in what she's asking throughout the emails. Wendi is very careful about what information she feeds to Donna and what information she withholds. Donna spends most of this email trying to establish what Wendi should say to her lawyer. And to Donna, the most important thing is relocation. It's interesting she tells Wendi that's the most important thing. She doesn't ask Wendi. Donna wants to make sure that Wendi appears before the judge as helpless, humble, and desperate for her family. So she has a whole litany of things that she wants Wendi to explain to this judge, which in reality probably will not play out well. One of them is this idea of how much Donna herself has sacrificed because Wendi needed her. Your attorney needs to understand that your mother worked full-time in the family dental practice until September, when she felt she was needed by you for the well-being of the children, to get them through a transitional time with people who love them and see them frequently and with whom they share great affection. It sounds nice. Reality, not quite so nice. But what's equally interesting here, besides the fact that she's trying to show that the practice has been hurt, and by extension Charlie, is that she starts to blur the point of view. When you say something like, your attorney needs to understand that your mother, and you're speaking to someone, it's second person point of view. But she slips into first person as if she is Wendi, and starts speaking the way Wendi would need to argue this. Explaining both the disappearance of your mother from the position of office manager and the disappearance of your father in second person. It switches to, additionally, this loss of income affects my family because my older brother, also a dentist, or my parents, or if I am able to relocate. I'm sure there's all kinds of psychology behind this. I just find it an interesting blurring of identity with a woman who has no sense of boundaries and no concept of where she ends and her interference should end and where someone else begins, especially her daughter. The other point is, why does she think Wendi can't think for herself? Because Wendi's not telling her what's going on in court. She doesn't know what's been said, or if this has been said, and she wants to make sure it gets said. Money, money, money. In this first email, Donna hits on what I think is one of the key pieces of this entire case. She says, the money you moved into an account for you was exactly half to the penny of the joint account, which is marital assets. First of all, how does she know this? Oh, Wendi told her. And secondly, this means that Wendi, right at this moment, had a sizable chunk of money. I don't know the exact number, but we have a hint in a later email how big it must have been. She also says that Dan said, you'll leave without your children, without a penny, and just the clothes on your back. I suspect anything that Wendi told Donna that Dan said is suspect. She would say anything to keep her mother wound up, for a number of reasons we'll talk about. Wendi has this large chunk of money she's taken when she left, but interestingly, her parents are paying for everything. Writing again in the first person as Wendi, Donna says, I do not want to dip into the money from our marital account, as that will have to go towards supporting my children and for their future. So her parents have paid for the furniture, moving expenses, legal fees, and even groceries. Wendi is able to just sock all that other money away, and supposedly she's going to pay her parents back. But I think Wendi, playing the long game, probably has already figured out a way to get around that somehow. And this screwy logic that won't fly in court, but it does do well for Wendi's bank account. The idea that she's got to hold tight onto this money. Well, when they get divorced, if she has custody of the children, Dan will be paying probably quite a hefty amount of child support, and will also be invested in the children's upbringing as far as college and other things, I imagine. So this idea that she has to hold on to it because she'll have no other way to support the children isn't going to make sense to the judge. But Donna believes it. And at this point, Donna says another bribe, in quotes, to get him to allow relocation should be the offer of plane tickets, since he does have family that would allow him to use their homes to stay in. But obviously, that's a last-ditch effort if all else fails. By the time we get to the fourth email, plane tickets are nothing. Do you need info on grocery bills? I have a good many of them and can show the court what it's been costing just for that. Donna's keeping grocery receipts, very careful tabulations of what she is paying for the kids because Wendi can't afford to, because she can't touch this big pile of money. This really surprised me. Harvey has info on what Danny had in his IRA and 401k before they were married. Why on earth does Harvey have that information on his son-in-law? That is mind-boggling to me. If you have any idea, please put it in the comments below. In the second email, the subject line reads, "Please read, very important." Why that subject line? This is also a common thread in Donna's emails. She often asks Wendi to read the email. It's very important. Or in the email itself, she'll say, when you've read this, call us. Or after you drop the boys off at school, if you're not too tired, call us. She keeps asking Wendi for a response because this is not a situation where Wendi is all wound up and she's talking to her mom and then her mom gets all wound up and they feed off each other. That's not this at all. Wendi says something that makes Donna go into orbit, but when Donna responds, Wendi just carefully sits back and decides her next move. She doesn't engage in all this frantic energy. So Donna wants a response from Wendi. And then she says, as we mentioned in the introduction, okay, just like it says on your necklace, never, never, never give up. Whatever it is that Wendi has sent to Donna, Wendi has made it sound like she's getting discouraged. What did Wendi say exactly? I don't have Wendi's emails, but there's a clue later in this email that proves that this is the type of tone that Wendi took, the poor me tone. Donna has come up with an idea that she thinks will solve everything. It's a crazy idea, but she doesn't understand that. Her insight into what's acceptable in a court and what's acceptable just in general is limited. So there's 5 weeks before a big court date between Dan and Wendi. Donna has this plan that has to be enacted immediately in order to work. And she starts bringing in the big guns, the guilt trip about family. However, the rest of your life, and consequently Dad's, mine, and yes, even Charlie's, will be affected by how well you can perform and act before July 31st. It's all up to you, Wendi. Donna thinks that this will work with Wendi. I think Wendi is well beyond this. She really does not care what happens to any of them. You can be a good actress when you want to. I've seen you in action. Yes, actually, Donna is seeing Wendi in action right now. She's keeping Donna in this wound-up state because when there's an interaction between two people and one person is spazzing out and the other one is very calm, The one who is calm has the power, not the one who's spazzing. You need to put on the performance of your life. Gibbers, oh, it bothers me so much that she talks about Dan Markel with that horrible nickname, hasn't beaten the Adelson family yet. So this is no longer about the well-being of the kids. This is just who's winning. You have a very strong family behind you. Just remember that. Dad and I have done everything we could to try to help you for the last 10 months. Now it's time to help yourself. And this is how Wendi is supposed to do this, according to Donna. Essentially, Donna believes that Dan Markel is a religious zealot. Her answer to that is for Wendi to suddenly decide to be Catholic and have the boys baptized. She feels this will offend Dan so much because of his Jewish faith that he will agree to the relocation if the children are not converted to Catholicism. This is wrong on so many levels, I don't even know where to start, but we'll just, for now, leave it as this crazy idea. This is an obvious ploy, and the court will see it, that suddenly in the middle of this contentious divorce, Wendi decides that she and the kids are going to be Catholic. That makes no sense. And an obvious ploy like that to try and coerce Dan into allowing relocation is not going to sit well with the court. Also, the fact that there is this ability to get the kids out of turning Catholic by letting them go be with Donna shows that it's not a sincere conversion anyway. Never mind the amount of disrespect to both religions, but more importantly, how confusing this would be to the children. When they're with their father, they're practicing the Jewish faith, and now suddenly with their mother, they're getting this intense indoctrination into the Catholic faith. But Donna isn't concerned about that. The children have become a pawn in this game that she wants to win. And now we've gone past, plane tickets are a last-ditch effort, to we plan to make a financial offer. Donna doesn't give details about who the we is in this. It reads like Donna and Harvey. But she says we plan to make a financial offer, and she doesn't mention an amount. She does say, however, that she's hoping that this threat of converting the children to another religion will make Dan more amenable so that if they make an offer, they don't have to pay as much. The machinations and the logic is mind-boggling. Donna also goes on to paint an extreme view of what the future would be like if Wendi doesn't win this battle for relocation. She believes the children become so religiously indoctrinated, in her view, that Wendi and Donna will be outsiders in the children's lives. And later, Wendi, consequently Donna, will even lose custody because the children won't want anything to do with them. It's a very extreme view of what might happen. She also throws in a lot of family guilt. Dad and I have changed our lives this year to support and assist you in every possible way. Charlie has accepted the loss in the office business income for us to do this because he loves you and he wants only the best possible future for you. It's time for you to show us that you can put on the performance of your life for the next few weeks. If you love us, you'll do this whole pretend Catholic thing. It's really important. Donna sent off her idea to Wendi, and apparently Wendi wasn't too thrilled about it. The next day, Wednesday, June 26th, Donna sent Wendi an email that said, since neither one of us feels up to talking, let me share with you what we're all feeling as far as your response. And apparently that did not engage Wendi fast enough for Donna because she resent the email on Thursday to make sure that Donna got it. And the bold-faced subject is, Wendi, please read this. Notice Wendi sitting back, not engaging, carefully calculating, navigating how to get Mom off this ridiculous course. But Wendi has a couple of surprises coming in this email. Donna begins by pointing out that she is now convinced that the justice system can't be trusted, that she and Wendi have no idea what this judge will do. The judge is erratic and basically not buying any of Wendi's arguments, apparently. This is the longest of the emails that we're looking at. In this format, it's 9 pages, but this is a narrower format. I would imagine it's about 7 with narrower margins. The tone of this is urgent and more intense than the previous emails. Donna has this definite feeling that time is running out and she's getting desperate. One quick way to show that Donna's feeling is intensifying is to just look at the amount of boldface and underlined typeface that she uses within this email and what she says with that. Some possible options on Judge Hobbs' decision regarding Jewish holidays with the boys. You need to help yourself. Remember, Donna is now doubling down because Wendi has pushed back on this charade of pretending the boys are Catholic. You have a job to get done in a very short time frame to accomplish it. He's not in control. You got into this mess by being so compliant and non-confrontational with him. I doubt Wendi was really all that non-confrontational. This is all part of an act. It's Wendi, an act. You need to see the big picture. Oh, Donna, Wendi is looking at a much bigger picture at this point than you are. We want to see you help yourself. You must take something from him that he wants. It's clever negotiation. You just need to play a role. Life is tough. If you don't stand up and take a chance, you don't stand a chance. Got that off plaque somewhere in a gift shop. What has gotten Donna so wound up? Well, we know that she's feeling desperate and that this is the only way to try and strong-arm Dan Markel into allowing relocation because the court is not siding with her and Wendi as far as she's been told. But in addition, she quotes something that Wendi said to her. At the end, she closes with, "Fight for yourself, Wendi. We'll be there to help you. Just don't tell us that what you need to do now is move forward with a sense of peace. That's giving up. I don't believe that's really what you want to do after all we've been through together. And when you're literally a few weeks from this being over." It's been 10 years and it's not over yet. Notice Wendi answered calmly, Mom, however she put it, Mom, I appreciate that thought, but I don't want to go that route. I just want to move forward with a sense of peace. Wendi being calm mirrored against Donna's frenetic energy. But there's even more. In the email where Donna brought this up, she was just trying to use Christianity to manipulate Dan. But now she's figured out it can be used in 2 ways. To manipulate Dan, but also to charm the judge. She's done a little cyber stalking of Judge Hobbs. And she says, obviously it will sound good to Judge Hobbs. She goes to church. There were multiple donations from her church pastors and ministers on her financial contributions website. She's a Southern black lady. How do you know it won't be music to her ears to hear this? There is so much wrong with this statement on so many levels. We could do an entire video just on that. Let's leave it at Donna's a very warped woman. But in what must have been an incredible shock for Wendi, Donna also detailed the financial offer that she was considering, and it's way beyond plane tickets. I don't think you realize the type of offer we're considering. We're planning on you, Charlie, and Dad and I going as high as equal parts in a $1 million offer. That's $333,000 from each of us. She's trying to argue with Wendi, you've got to get Dan to agree to this relocation without us having to offer the full $1 million. What's fascinating here is she's volunteering $333,000 from Wendi. She's not asking Wendi. She's telling her, which means that she knows Wendi has access to this kind of money, probably in those marital assets that she took when she left. Wendi, who supposedly can't even spend money on groceries, can suddenly cough up $333,000. The fourth email is short, and it's later. This is in February of 2014. Here, Donna is just raging. She's feeling like everything in the court case is falling apart, and she wants to know why. Whatever impression she's getting, it's that Dan is terrible, he's doing awful things, he's manipulated the whole court system against them. She never stops to consider there are two sides, and maybe she should be questioning a little bit what the other side might be. She doesn't have enough insight to do that, and Wendi knows it. So Wendi can keep her in this froth and keep the money coming. So once again, the attorney's not doing enough. She must depot Dan. We have a new nickname for him here, equally disrespectful. But now it's not so much legal strategy. It's petty. Let's aggravate him, make him do the research and show statements from every month. How is making Dan have to pull some statements together in this petty aggravation forwarding this settlement at all? But Donna can't see that anymore. She's too angry and too wound up. She says, when is there an end? She's getting frustrated. She feels like she's losing. She's pouring out so much money, $600 an hour going on 10 months for this lawyer. And she's not seeing the return that she wants. She's not winning. And in one of the most chilling ending lines from the fourth email, Donna sums it all up like this. Something has to be done with this a-hole. Editing mine because of YouTube. We're no longer talking legal strategy. We're no longer talking crazy schemes. Something has to be done with Dan himself. And something was. So why would Wendi want to keep Donna in this state of constant frenetic energy and belief that Wendi was about to lose everything? I think a lot of it comes down to money. Now, yes, I know that there's a lot of psychology behind this. I'm sure that Wendi, being raised by a woman like Donna, knows how to push every single button Donna has, and maybe at some level enjoys doing it. The coercion and interplay between them is fascinating, but I'm not a psychology expert, so I'll leave that to much more capable YouTubers. So let's focus on the money aspect, very clear and concrete. Wendi took half of the marital assets, which included at least $333,000, but she can't spend it, because what about the future with her boys? Never mind that they also have a father who would be contributing. Donna is paying all this support. Furnishings, home, groceries, the lawyer, so that poor Wendi doesn't have to, because this terrible Dan will cheat her out of everything if he can. Because Dan is not paying anything. Or so Wendi tells her mother. And then, in a shock, Donna volunteers Wendi to pay this $333,000. And you can be sure Wendi doesn't want that offer to get on the table, certainly not to be accepted. The other thing that's a constant trend in these emails is how much Wendi is not telling Donna, because Donna is constantly asking her. Things like, in the first email, does this current motion require an answer? I sincerely hope your attorney understands that this is your non-negotiable, the idea of relocation. I hope your attorney is researching cases where relocation was granted. Find out from Kristen, the attorney, if she wants you to pay us back now or wait. What's best for your case? Donna can tell you all about how awful Dan has been and all these myriad of things she detailed as if Wendi didn't know. But she isn't being told what's happening with the case. In the second email, interestingly, there is no discussion of lawyers or legal recourse at all. Everything is focused on the idea of the crazy religious conversion to try and strong-arm Dan into allowing relocation. It's showing that Donna is losing faith that she can win this in court, and so she's going to turn to more desperate measures. The third email, her increasing frustration not just with the justice system, but with the lawyer herself. Who would have thought that after paying an attorney $600 an hour for 10 months, does she, the judge, care that? And she gives a whole list of things that would be better if the children were with her and Wendi. You and Kristen haven't figured out the judge so far. Obviously, the court isn't out to help you. Judge Hobbs could care less about anything you had to say in your behalf. You need to help yourself. Boldface. The fourth email contains the most rants about the lawyer, the judge, the justice system. She nodded her head. Now she needs to do something about it. This is in reference to an idea that Donna had given Kristen in court. It seems ridiculous for you and Kristen not to give him the same crap he's pulling on you. What can your attorney do to give him some grief? It seems like you're always on the defensive, but I don't see her doing anything offensive. Can't you meet with her and work out a plan of attack or some sort of strategizing? Donna feels that after all this time, they're getting nowhere. So let's sum up Donna's escalation. In May of 2013, she was focused on legal arguments and how to get things resolved through the court, how to get relocation, how to divide the marital assets, responding to claims that Dan had made in court. What was the attorney doing? Okay, maybe we'll give him some plane tickets, but as a last-ditch effort. Within a month, she decided that their best course was to try this religious manipulation of Dan Markell, using the kids as pawns to try and get relocation. Within the same week, she expanded the idea. She not only thought it was a good idea for this fake conversion because it would manipulate Dan, but also it would look good to the judge. But in addition, let's give him $1 million to let the kids come with us. And then finally, by February of 2014, Donna is ranting over everything legal. She has no faith that she's going to win in the courts, and something has to be done with this a-hole. Who's the master manipulator? Who's the puppeteer? Wendi. I think Wendi had an idea how all this could go right from the beginning and how to keep herself distant. She pulled the strings with Donna. Donna pulled the strings with Charlie. Charlie pulled the strings with the actual murderers. And with this setup, notice how distant Wendi is from the actual people that committed the crime. There's a lot of separation there. I don't know if Wendi will ever get charged or not. I hope she will. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think after Donna's trial that they have enough evidence to charge Wendi? Thank you for joining me tonight, and thank you for sticking through to the end. I know this is a little bit longer than my usual video. If you've enjoyed the content, please give it a thumbs up, and I would be honored to have your subscription if you'd like to see more. In the meantime, until we meet in the next video, please use your words wisely and well. Take care.